Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming to tonight's reading. My name is Alex, and I am the Building and Events Manager at the Poetry Foundation. I use he, him pronouns, and as a way of visual description, I am a white cis man with black hair and black glasses. I'm wearing a green sweater tonight, and I'm sitting at my desk with a bookshelf and some flowers behind me. We would like to begin by recognizing that the Poetry Foundation building is situated on the occupied original homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Odawa nations, among other Indigenous nations. Indigenous people continue to live here today, and Chicago is home to one of the largest urban Indigenous communities in the United States. While we are meeting on a virtual platform, it remains crucial that we recognize the stolen resources and land that enable the infrastructures of our connecting tonight. We gather recognizing that some of us are settlers on colonized land, and that this land acknowledgement is one small part of disrupting and dismantling the colonial structures in which we are living. And now we would like to hear about where you are watching from tonight. Feel free to share your location in the chat. Just make sure you send your message to all panelists and attendees, or it won't be seen.
Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Noah, and I am the events assistant at the Poetry Foundation. I use they, them pronouns, and I am a white trans non-binary person. I am wearing a red sweater and a pink and blue choker. My lipstick is purple and my hair is dyed faded blue. And there's a plant behind me by way of visual description. If we were meeting in person, we would ask you to make yourself at home. But since you're probably watching at home already, this is an extra reminder to just let this be a relaxed space that we can create together virtually, which means feel free to do what you need to for your body and mind to be more at ease, whether that's eating a snack, hydrating, nursing, lying down, or stepping out to take a break, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. Let's all take care of ourselves so that we can better take care of each other in this virtual community space. Take a second now to make yourself 10% more comfortable. Tonight's reading order will be Kristy Bowen, Dominique Dusek, and then a collaborative performance by Laaura Goldstein and Damon Locks on the theme of future freedom, which perhaps could also be a meaningful through line for all the poets you'll hear tonight. Let's get things started with our first reader. Kristy Bowen is a writer and book artist working in both text and image. Kristy Bowen is the author of a number of chapbooks, zines, and artist book projects, as well as several full-length collections of poetry, prose, hybrid work, including, most recently, Sex and Violence. Bowen is the founder of Dancing Girl Press and Studio. Please welcome to the virtual stage, Kristy Bowen.
Hello. By way of introduction, I'm Kristy Bowen. I go by she, her pronouns. And as far as the visual representation, I am a white woman. I'm wearing a black colored sweater. I have brown hair, and I have a white wall behind me with some windows. I want to really quickly thank the Poetry Foundation for setting this up and inviting me to read. And also my fellow readers, as one of Dominique Dusek and Laaura Goldstein are actually past Dancing Girl authors. So this is exciting. And I just met Damon for the first time last week. So it should be a really great reading. I'm going to read some poems that I wrote last year based on weekly world news headlines from the 70s and 80s. I was working on a series of kind of depressing work based on the pandemic and based on The Shining, actually, which seems to fit really well with lockdowns and such. And I decided I really need to not work so glumly on things. And so these tabloid poems were the kind of antidote to that. So the headline that started it all is Babies Living on Board Titanic. Imagine they float in phosphor, tiny lights flickering beyond fingers. How pale the skin is without sun, how white their eyes. Their mothers glide from room to room in dresses made from cabin curtains, chandelier crystals dangling from their ears. At 6, they all sit down promptly for dinner, while the babies swing in bassinets above the dance floor. All that capital and fine china rattling in the cupboards, spilling out of steerage. The tilt and lean while the orchestra played hymns, the ocean floor that rose to meet them. How could they not be blind from all that shine? Below, in the cabins, the maids who survived are constantly changing sheets that grow thick with mold. We tip them in canned peaches and the occasional cuttlefish. Send them back to huddle in the holds where even the gas lights won't reach. Each morning, they take the babies out onto the decks to watch the ships that float like clouds one after another at the surface. Every once in a while, they get swallowed by the sea that eats and churns, the cold hand that grips the ankle and pulls. The babies laugh and blink and suck the bottle dry. Mini mermaid found in tuna sandwich. He'd say it began with a hum, just a tiny tenor, a vibration inside the can. Noon and the cabinets shook and the forks hummed like the rings of drinking glasses. Who knew a tiny thing could be so loud, so sad in her little bra made of scales? Every time he'd catch sight of a tail, she'd shimmy under an onion or an egg white and be gone. The voice itself, at turns terribly loud or barely a whisper, its own kind of terrible. She'd disappear only to be reborn. He looked for her for weeks amid the mayonnaise, coaxed her with sea salt and tiny bits of kelp lifted from the sushi buffet, but still nothing until she was already in his mouth, already damaged between his teeth. Sometimes he swallowed her whole, where at night she'd swim the length of his body from hold to hold, freeing each tiny creature from its watery cave. Cuttlefish, blue crab, mako shark, the lobster he ate on the coast. His lungs were riptide and tidal pool, tiny bubbles flickering the surface of his heart, where she'd hide in the ventricles and loosen every valve like a shell. He'd open his mouth and a sound like the sea would come out. She'd fall in love, fold herself into bread for him every night. Aliens abduct cheerleaders. By the time they've taken us, we've seen everything. Math books, bong water, older men whose eyes wander the back of our skirts. In a better town, we'd be starlets, swimming the pools of champagne. But here, the lights blink on at 6 in the grocery store parking lot, then go black at 9. We swallow peanut butter sandwiches in the lunchroom and die a little more each afternoon. At practice, the girl who throws up first wins the crown made of razor blades and Percocet. Spend long afternoons in beige curtained rooms where the television feeds on our discontent and glows. Of course, we'd be taken easily, pretty much willingly, one by one, lifted from the football field, the top of the pyramid. We were so clean inside, they wondered if we were human at all. Our muscles wound tight as springs. They'd set us back down and we'd jump back up, chanting the names of boys we'd forget soon after, flashing our thighs and teeth at the crowd who'd cheer then rip us limb from limb. Dick Cheney is a robot. Sometimes things misfire. In the brain, in the woods, in the trigger finger. In the 90s, I was plum and sugar, so shiny with hope. I licked the backs of stamps and sent letters into the universe in the form of poems, in the form of goblins full of milk, silk underwear lined with lace, so flush with democracy. After all, everything is a catastrophe when you're knee-deep in machinery, everything monstrous when you're a monster. America, like a spider in its mechanical web, while the markets grew fat and fell. Everything pink and luscious with all that funding. In Texas, the highways went nowhere, slick and bigger than they should be. I counted out singles at the rest stop to buy a soda. The roads smooth, but the terrain rough and full of cows lined in rows. All that bush era capital falling like bricks from the overpass. So white in all that sun, so terrible in the sound it makes, smashing all the cars one by one below. Hillary Clinton adopts alien baby. We'd like to say we were surprised, but then the country wants a woman it can either fuck or be mothered by, smothered and strangled with apron strings. In the West Wing, baking cookies for men in an oven no one can find. The baby was blind, so we swaddled it in gold coins and sirloin steaks, rolled it across the White House lawn on occasion, strolled through the Smithsonian, pointing out the spacesuits. The baby could cry and cough, but it went blank in the eyes and would recite tax tables on command, crawl up the walls at night and vomit in the rose garden. So sudden were the diapers, we couldn't stop from seeping. So human, we thought it was real, crying and mewling through the night. After all, no one knew what to do with a woman who could not quiet her child. We thought the women who came to sit and stare at it would surely want to take it home, wrapped tight in their sweaters and tucked beneath an arm. I was Bigfoot's love slave. At first, we were happy in the woods, pine sap and endless gaze of backgammon, how he'd roll me into his belly while sleeping, the creep of moss across the floor over our bodies, the perks in dating a secretive man, the secrets hidden in plain sight, the dog that belonged to him but didn't, the fog that gathered when we fucked always on the floor, the women he loved before all sirens and witches, and me so human, so typical, so angry when mud stained the sheets and the squirrels nested in the rafters. So happy to be adored, I'd wash the cave until my fingers bled, squash the insects that crawled from his fur with my red heels, but still he'd drag the deer he'd hunted bloody back to our bed. Sometimes he'd hide in the closet to pretend he didn't exist. The dog would disappear for days. Computer virus spreads to humans. No one knew the source of it, but the horses caught whiff of it first, like fire that spread down the canyon and into our beds. Not flame, but fizz, like lightning, then a slow hiss, like a soda bottle. I was kissing everyone in those days, bartenders and stockbrokers, their money love collected in my mouth, dripping out the corners, spread by horny teenagers and housewives banging the tax man. We were all complicit, contagious, free falling along the freeways, jacked in, jerking off to the women who took it deep-throated with a smile. My blood was electric, prone to blackouts and bad reception. The men angry in their basements, they'd go off like firecrackers in public places, the movie theater, the mall. The bodies they left behind would line up and drop into a swimming pool full of ones and zeros. All of us complicit, floating the green glow. plane missing since 1939 lands. Over the Atlantic, everything looks like sky. Ocean, cloud cover, rocky sand. All sky, all blue we keep wanting to fly into. We were broken before we started. Busted landing gear, cracked altimeter. My suitcase had a gash from Paris running straight across the middle, into which I threw hope while he fiddled in the cockpit with wires and machines. After all, anger can look a lot like love if your ears go bad. In the hotel, stashing oranges in my purse, the bedspread furious with roses. All who wander may not be lost, but the sea looks like Massachusetts from here. But then what is lost? What is land? Where do we find ourselves if we follow what looks like a seagull into the rocks? What looks like a ship? What looks like America tilting on the horizon line? And this last one I'm going to read here is how to tell if you are possessed. Begin by checking the body for abnormalities, left-handedness, legarthy, locusts in the bloodstream. After all, the best possessions begin with the creeping of insects up the spine, into all the creaks and hollows. Satan was announced by flies, but bees will do, anything with 6 or more legs. A friend bought a Victorian wheelchair in Kentucky infested by spiders, refused to bring it in the house. Its ghosts bend backwards and crawl up and down the stairs, and it's all we can do not to want to join them. On an architecture tour in the South, the tour guide points to the ungodly blue of porch eaves. The wasps, they think it's sky, so won't build nests. You should check for birthmarks, bite marks, bed bugs. Check for blackberries, boredom, bad boyfriends. If you can float, the witch, the bitch had it coming. By June, moths inhabit the stitches of even my most unnatural sweaters, eat their way through faux cashmere and scratchy rayon. Everything I wear has the tiniest holes. I am always mistaking the ceiling for sky. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristy. And to everyone here, if you would like to read more of Kristy's poems, check out her recent book, Sex and Violence, from Black Lawrence Press, and we will drop that link in the chat for anyone who wants to check that out. Our next reader is Dominique Dusek. Dominique Dusek's work has appeared in Jet Fuel Review and Windows Fine Arts Magazine. After earning her bachelor's in creative and professional writing at Lewis University, Dusek returned to school to pursue her master's in secondary education. She currently applies her passion for teaching writing as a middle school language arts teacher in Oak Brook. Her chapbook, Self-Portrait with Playroom and Diazepam, is currently available through Dancing Girl Press. And now let's all welcome to the virtual stage, Dominique Dusek.
Thank you. And I would just like to take a moment to thank Kristy for her invitation and also to thank the Poetry Foundation for hosting us. By way of visual introduction, I am a cisgender white female. I currently am wearing my hair in a short auburn bob, and I have a white blouse with lace detail on it. Some other part of me. Did I lose the terms and conditions manual you came with? The one that dictates the inadequacy of women with short haircuts, my own half-shaved head, a rough stubble of deformity. The one that stipulates that if I'm raped, it's the fault of my crop top or my clavicle or some other part of me that lures men like minnows to the glow of an anglerfish. Forever men will force their fingers, their tongues, their words into you, into me, until we purple like an orchid, or just collapse, a clamshell snapping shut to swallow that milky pearl. Congregation. A gunshot cracks through an open field, scattering a murder of crows across the sky, a string of 16th notes arching the staff. A doe collapses against dull earth, pelt stretched thin along her protruding ribs. She lies motionless as the hunter bends his path through stalks of grass, bleeding only as he searches for buckshot with his fingers. Plucking her body like an instrument to restring, coyotes line the trees, a congregation of churchgoers, their howls swelling a crescendo as the sun sags low against the treescape. Birds collect in the branches like mourners late to a funeral, black feathers dropping bullet casings. And this next poem, Nest, begins with an epigraph from Toni Morrison's Beloved. For a baby, she throws a powerful spell. She lies, a shadow among the cotton, smelling of fresh baked bread and chamomile sap. Every particle of her body vibrates, a lullaby to a dead baby, the hum of a hacksaw spilling amaranth against sawdust. In Sweet Home, Georgia, ghosts play hide and seek, plaits of black hair knotted in red ribbons. The scene unwinds like a broken wristwatch, wind whipping through the poplar trees in wisteria, but she hears something softer, the whisper of the crepe of a dress. Kneading her tongue with her teeth, she tastes copper, a bitterness she could never swallow. She wishes she could hide them all in the shed, all the little girls not yet made of dirt, and maybe then quiet the hummingbirds who nest in her ears. And this next poem is co-written with Simone Mensch, titled The Mask. Shadows slant through barred windows into a nursery where a woman sleeps, casting strange shapes like Rorschach ink blots against starched cotton sheets. Wallpaper peeling, dropping yellow petals on the floor, a wilting bouquet, or a reading of tea leaves. Soft snore of a tabby cat lulls in a storm-struck house. A glass of liquid ripples its phosphate glow. A woman writhing, her nightgown twisted to rope, both clutch and noose, hoist and drag, a self-portrait with playroom and diazepam. Doctor bolted the bed frame to the marred wood floor in a nursery where she drifts, where ghost children play peekaboo behind paisley curtains, tiny hands snatching at her skirt hem, an unraveling of thread and narrative next to the inkwell's spill, as the story thrums, its blues of buttercups and phantom limbs, and all the characters dissolve into the walls like effervescing pills. Sticky fingers. Suppose you could sculpt a little sister out of clay, transform the pale flesh of bread flour and vanilla bean into a girl, small enough to sit in the palm of your hand. From afar, they seem so lovely. Little girls with wild curls and faces soft as dough. If only you could cradle one in your pocket, a charm to ward off the curse of venom women who stun you with cruelty, their phrases swelling your skin like a hot wasp sting. Don't call me mama in public. Little sister could protect you. Then you wouldn't have to peer at the other girls from the porch, their crushed velvet dresses dancing across your cerebellum until your hot brain swells. Imagine trailing your fingers through their faux cream fur of winter coats. Mama's stern look strikes you like a wooden spoon. She hates sticky fingers and girls who touch too much. Lonely planets. Two lonely planets colliding in the back seat of a black sedan, parked on the farthest curve of the cul-de-sac. We cradle the darkness in our cupped hands, letting it fall through our fingers like water. You undress yourself in phases, each layer revealing a new face of the moon, drawing bodies together. You pull the tide. I chart your freckles with my fingertips, tracing Ursa Minor on your spine. Above me, you burn, sulfurous like a shuddering supernova, ready to collapse. But we obey nature's laws, gravity shifting us back into our own orbital cycles, crystals of ice collecting in the atmosphere. There's no temperature colder than silence. And this final poem is a cento with lines from Nicole Brown, Maggie Smith, Matthew Zapruder, among others. Water Song. Two pale figures in the lake to nestle in a dark place. Two hungry owls, ill-inclined to cheer or mourn, to find markers of what's extraneous. A first loss of love, weightless flake of light. It travels into sorrow and gets lost there. Two birds coupling beneath the blue crush of all those hours, the silver of the unseen knocking another man into the wine-dark sea wreck. For every bird, there is a stone to throw at a bird. Across the field, birds fly like storm-shook shadows, the world's raw sea edge awaiting. Oh, little birds, don't you know? Thank you.
Thank you, Dominique. That was really beautiful. If you'd like to read more of her poems, Dominique's chapbook, Self-Portrait with Playroom and Diadem, is available for purchase from Dancing Girl Press. The link will be in the chat. And now we have a special collaborative performance between Laura Goldstein and Damon Locks. Laura Goldstein is the author of the full-length poetry collections Loaded Ark and Awesome Camera, as well as numerous chapbooks. With Jennifer Carmen, they co-curate the Red Rover Reading Series in Chicago. They are a lecturer at Loyola University and live in Chicago. Damon Locks is a Chicago-based visual artist, educator, vocalist, and musician. He received his BFA in Fine Arts from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. His awards include a Helen Coburn Meyer and Tim Meyer Achievement Award in the Arts, a Maker Grant, a Soros Justice Media Fellowship, and a 3 Arts Award. Locks has worked with the Prison and Neighborhood Arts Project, PNAP, at Stateville and Correctional Center as a teaching artist since 2014, and is artist in residence as part of the Museum of Contemporary Art's SPACE program. In addition, he leads the group Black Monument Ensemble and is a founding member of the Eternals. Both part of the greater art community and the prison abolition movement in Chicago, Damon and Laura officially met through Ralph Darden, aka DJ Major Taylor. Damon's work tonight is from a song soon to be released through Black Monument on the international Anthem label. Laura's work tonight is from their forthcoming project, Golden Infection. Their theme for tonight's performance is Future Freedom. Without any further ado, please welcome to the virtual stage, Laura Goldstein and Damon Locks.
We are the people of yesterday. We are the people of yesterday. I believe it from my heart. I will harm you if you don't harm me. I will catch you if you don't catch me. Believe that, brother.
Spirit light, one where you won, pattern the tale, one which repeats in a landscape like itself. The landscape is still green, quiet, and reflections of itself shimmer into existence everywhere. White is a future that has run true, arms coming out of the body of the state. The arm is made of white plastic run through a machine so light it can be ordered on the internet. A white arm is made with fluids like you. This arm of the law has not set off any alarms. It has made its way through. The day repeats in a white array of signals that means meals for those in jail, confined to a landscape of white within a larger landscape of green. White layers build into a wall that keeps us all in place, and we freeze. And now we're something else. Not under the law, not a part of the state, not at all free. The future is the golden eye of the state on your liquid body. The future is a terrible lie, a wonderful love. The future is an alphabet that dictates the day. The future is what you did and did not say. The future is transcendent like ultraviolet light. The future is a 4-year kind of fight. The future is economies of film streamed right to the brain. The future is your fortune wrapped in light rain. The future gives you the most amazing nightmares and dreams. The future is your heart living outside your body with the help of a machine. The future is your mythology finally detached from ideology. The future itself is free. This new music that moves your body in entirely unexpected and satisfying ways. The future is what we already are, what we see, what we say. The future is black, one where you've lost. The pattern is a field where your law used to be, the green, a greener lens than liberal palettes allow. A field that repeats in a landscape of sand and stops at a shore. The landscape is blue like a sky, a lens that lets in the light all the way to the window that we walk through all day. The field is a lens that's loud with the sky and loud with the future, our large open eye. This is the medicine that operates instead, the weeds that we work with. We bring back the dead. The world that watched us wake up and see what our bodies can do. If you can see through the night, you can say that the future is black. You can see a day punctuated cleanly with the new. Now, go down to the river or the lake or the beach or what have you. Let it reflect all that blue back up at you. This is what we mean that the future is black. We'll take all of it in and give none of it back.
A field that repeats in a landscape of a field that repeats in a landscape of blacks. A field that repeats. A field that the future is black. The future and the future is black. The future is black.
And now we're something else. And now
Future is black. Future is black. Future is black. Future is black.
And now not at all free.
Future is black. Future is black.
And now
Future is black. Future is black.
under the law.
And the future is black. A field that repeats in a landscape of black sand and stops at the shoreline. A field that repeats in a landscape of black sand and stops at the shoreline. A field, 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 a Palestine, a Palestine, a field, 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 a Palestine, a field, a field, a field, a field, a field, a field, a field,
To make everybody say that you're good. This your thing to make everybody say that you're good. This your thing to make everybody say that you're good. This your thing to make everybody.
They don't like you.
What'd you say?
They don't like you.
a field that
right, if you had pleaded guilty, you would have already been out of jail. Now, if I understand right, if you had pleaded guilty, you would have already been out of jail. Now, if I understand right, if you had pleaded guilty, you would have already been out of jail. Now, if I understand right, if you had pleaded guilty, you would have already been out of jail.
Probably would have. I probably would have won in front of the parole board in a year and made parole. I probably would have been.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
If I was guilty, I probably would have taken it.
But you didn't take it. Because
I'm not.
Now.
Melodies in gold, dipped in sunlight. Levitating song, laughter, delight. You can see it all, universal insight. You can see it now, spectrum, brilliant and bright. The instant people take flight. Come to speak your piece, mother of time. Rotation of the dial, revive the life. You can free it all, light in their eyes. You can free it now, see nobody dies. Beyond the timeline. Shades of night in gold, green, crimson, and black. Call into the twilight. The curtain pulls back. You can know it all with language in place. You can know it now with rhythm and grace. Forever, momentary, space.
Places that we'd never been before. And we were just running, you know? Like through a green forest, just laughing and dancing. And then the trees turned and to a million people. And we just kept laughing and dancing and telling them how much we loved each other. What'd you say?
Here in my deep purple dreams, 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 here in my
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Laura and Damon. That was so captivating and invigorating. And for everyone watching, if you would like to see and hear more, check out some links to Laura's books and Damon's music that we will put in the chat right now. And I want to give another big thank you to all of tonight's readers: Kristy Bowen, Dominique Dusek, Laura Goldstein, and Damon Locks. Let's all take a moment to give everyone some virtual claps and snaps for their performances tonight. So like we have posted throughout the evening, some recent books and other material from tonight's readers are available for purchase, and we are going to share everybody's links one more time in the chat as we head out tonight. So you can check that out to support your local poets who are doing good work. And we want to say thank you also to Vitac for captioning tonight's event. And a big thank you to all of you out there for tuning in and watching tonight's reading.